The Fringe Podcast, Season 5, Episode 15. Feedback for 5/20/10.
This is Jessica Nicole, and you are listening to The Fringe Podcast.
Support for The Fringe Podcast is provided by listeners like you and by this week's sponsor, Global Cash Card. Learn how Global Cash Card provides world-class solutions for pay cards, gift cards, per diem cards, flex cards, and more by visiting thefringepodcast.com/global cash card today. Welcome back to the Fringe Podcast, a podcast dedicated to the Fox television show.
Whoops.
Is that the best you can do? Whoops. 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 Whoops.
Whoops. Did you ever see Whoops?
Never heard of it.
I'd never even heard of it either.
I mean, what is it even about? What does that title tell you?
It sounds like
It's like
a Fox show, doesn't it?
we messed up. Here's
canceled.
another show for you.
Whoops.
Whoops. We'll just get this one out of just name it right from out of the box. This was a mistake. We know it. Whoops. No show.
Let's see. Whoops. Is an You ready for this?
Okay. All right.
This came out. Whoops is an American post-apocalyptic sitcom that aired on Fox from September 27th to December 6th in 1992.
Wow. It was a mistake.
The series centered around 6 survivors in a world nuclear holocaust. The 6 of them live together in an abandoned farmhouse while trying to survive and reestablish civilization. 13 episodes were made, but only 10 were aired before Fox canceled the series. I can't imagine why.
What does Whoops even have to do with that?
In July 2002, a TV guide named Whoops the 42nd worst TV show of all time, which is pretty awesome considering the fact that it only aired for...
It had 10 episodes it aired.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it sounds like they got the name right. Let's talk about some of the names we got that sent in Bunsen burners this week. What do you say?
Okay.
You ready for that?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Boston Red Vines gave it 9.15 out of 10 Aerosmith concerts. Boston band. I think they're playing in 2036 still. Anyway, she was at the Aerosmith concert on Friday.
Cool.
Yep.
Midge Marley says, gives it 9. Love is not enough.
Athlete Alex gave it 9.5 Peters as a dirty, rotten, stinking liar.
Charlotte from Virginia gives it 8 out of 10. Peter needs Rogaine.
Expendable Gerbil gave it 9.5. You monster! You stole Bowie!
Never Bogart a man's Bowie.
That's right.
That's right. Waiting for Godot.
That's just going to be it now, isn't it?
That's right. That's what it is. Gave it 9.1. Observant Peters and Cognizant Olivia's.
Pleonasm gave it 9.0. Pilfered Records.
Little Hill with the L's as ones. Except for the first one. Which I don't know if you knew this, Daryl.
Is it capitalized?
But it's capitalized.
Now that you point that out, I see that.
That's right. Gave it 8.5. I Peterbots.
Nice. Nixie gave it 8. I guess he'll have to shave now.
Straight Leet with a bunch of numbers that spells the last thing that I said. Gave it 10 face-melting observers.
Zero Fights gave it 10.2036. Disappointed Olivia because she doesn't have any Cortexiphan superhuman ability.
They just can't get their abilities in sync, right?
No, they can't.
It's like he has an ability because he's got the machine, and then she's got the ability because she's got Cortexiphan, and his shoulder's dislocated, and now he's got Observer Tech, and she's just a regular person.
Right.
Crazy.
It is crazy. They can't get their act together.
Maybe someday.
Maybe.
Bonk_P gave it 7.8 Raiders of the Lost Briefcase. Awesome.
New Dana gave it 8 Observer Peters.
Alabama Fringe gave it 8.9 Blue Baldness and Bowie.
Penny. gave it 7.5. Peter's Pinocchio games are over.
Gibbinator gave it 8. All new I predict brain implants by Apple. Think fourth dimensionality.
Direct 6955 gave it 9 Raiders of the Lost Bald Spots.
That's nice. TJM gave it 9 steaks with pepper. Hold the steak.
Nice. Sci-Fi Fan 30 gave it 8 standing ovation for JJ's acting.
Yes. And that's Josh Jackson.
I was like, I didn't see JJ.
Not JJ Abrams.
I knew that.
No One's Minion gave it 7.5 because I am that disappointed right now.
Oh, see, she liked it like I did. Scaper gave it 8 Logical Peters.
Jenny from Ohio gave it 7.5 Observer Meltdowns.
Nice. Foxy Fringe Chick gave it 8.5. We have to wait 3 weeks for a new episode.
The Ozone Layer gave it 9. William Bell lends a helping hand.
Linda is Lost gave it 8 Marathon Men wearing Michael Jackson jackets.
Nice. Yogoban gave it 7. Free Gene from the Amber already. Walter needs his milk.
I know. I guess they're afraid that they don't have a way to take care of her, so they haven't unambered her.
That's true.
Bad Wobot gave it 8.75. Peter, you're going down a dark path that I can't follow. That's good. That's a line from that Milo's sister said to him.
That's
in
right.
The plateau.
That's right.
Nice.
Nice tie-in.
Yeah.
Red Eagle gave it 9. Why does the jaw always drop off first?
Yeah, this was a jaw-dropping episode. Janice LG, gave it 9 Peters pulling his hair out.
Lisa 2 gave it 6. Take my hand and live long and prosper.
Hot Sauce gave it... Sorry, I lost my spot. Hot Sauce gave it 9 out of 10. Peter changes.
Turn the face of time. Changes.
There it is.
Yeah, I had to bring it back this episode.
Good. We missed it. Maybe.
Vilma gave it 9.5. Hey, Billy, can you give us a hand with this safe? You know what, Daryl? This is totally inappropriate timing.
All right.
But I thought for sure when we got the safe and Walter couldn't get it open because he couldn't remember, I thought we were going to go back to the lab and get the technology that we saw in safe.
Oh, yeah.
So that they could reach in and grab it out.
And grab it, yeah.
That would have been awesome. Anyways.
Didn't happen that way.
No.
Chantal, New York, gave it 6 boring repeat storylines coupled with wanting my Peter and Olivia back.
Guest 8306 gave it 7 Agneses.
Blue Eagle gave it 8.0 Observer Tex, the anti-Rogaine.
The Lost Passenger gave it 9 Pilfered David Robert Jones records.
Melchizedek gave it 6 Sticks and Stones May Break My Bones, but ouch, Walter, was that really necessary? Or Clint's obviously skipping my Bunsen burner because Melchizedek is such a hard word to sound out.
Which is funny because that's what I just did.
Yeah, you did.
Highway 61 gave it 9.45 Crystal Blue Persuasions Visions.
Alabama Fringe gave it... Oh, that's not a Bunsen burner.
Nope.
I copied these from the chat this time, and that was not a Bunsen burner. Laura HT Dot gave it 9 out of 10. Ever have one of those days when you wish you could have a do-over after making a rash decision? You know, like when you never implanted Observer Tech into your head? Nice.
Trish Cape Cod gave it 9.5 Perturbed Peters.
Marf Michaela gave it 9.75. Gazing a gazy stare with the real David Robert Jones.
Tangier 14 gave it 8.5 Rogaine Eating Observer Peeping Peters.
Aaron Sarkisian gave it 8.9 Men Who Sold the World.
Langley-1 gave it 9 Logical Exploding Briefcases.
Green Peter gave it 9.5 Obi-Wan Peters.
Yeah, more like Anakin Peters.
Mm-hmm.
East Coast Spiv gave it 9. He's not just a member. He's the president.
Nice. Hey Liv gave it 9.2 Cox of Peter's Head.
What?
I just read it. You can take it however you want.
Oh, like tilts?
Yes.
Okay. This is a family show, Daryl.
I'm aware.
My name is Earl. Gave it 10. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers.
Zeppelin Bowie gave it 9.6. Man who sold the world records pilfered by Belly. The man who sold the world.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Bad Wobot gave it 8.75. Peter, you're going down a dark path that I can't follow. Did we already do that one? We did.
That's why I skipped it.
Yep. Dharma Lady gave it 9.3. Rubbery wobbly belly hands gyros.
Vandergalt gave it 8 Handy William Taco Bell references.
Nice. Denef gave it 9 Walter Smackdowns.
Monarch gave it 9.5. Wish I wasn't working 53 hours a week. Maybe I wouldn't have fallen asleep for the last 20 minutes. Dope.
And finally, Star Chase gave it 9 interesting Peter, Olivia, Walter character dynamics.
All right. I'm surprised that nobody called it a jaw-dropping episode. I was going to make that my Bunsen burner, and I thought, no, surely that's in there somewhere. Did they?
Yeah.
I know I made a crack about it being a jaw-dropping episode.
Nope.
But okay, well, hopefully somebody did that one.
It was Blue Eagle that said, why did the jaws always have to fall off?
Yeah, I know, but I mean the phrase jaw-dropping episode. I just thought that one was right there for the taking.
It was.
Anyway. You ready for some feedback?
Yep.
Let me just say, once again, you guys.
You
brought your A game.
You guys and girls.
Lots of great feedback.
Women.
Yeah, from men, women, no children as far as I know. I can't play it all. We didn't have time to include everything this week again, as is always, but so many good things that didn't make the show this week. Thank you guys for sending it in. We're going to get it kicked off this week with Chris in New York.
Hey, Clint and Daryl, as well as listeners of the Fringe Podcast. This is Chris sending in feedback from New York. I have a theory, and it may be a crackpot one that you two are immediately going to shoot down after you finish playing my feedback, and that's okay. That's welcome. I'm interested to know what your thoughts are, even if it's just to shoot my theory down. I have no way of knowing where the story is going, so again, it's just a thought. I'm going to take us back to the Season 3 episode, The Firefly. And if we recall that episode, we'll remember that September goes back in time to retrieve Roscoe Joyce's son. He brings him forward to the present and then brings him back again so that he can die like he was supposed to. I'm wondering if one of the reasons that Peter puts the chip in the back of his head at the end of an origin story is not just so that he'll be on the same playing field as the other observers, but also because he remembers that happening, and he figures now that I'll have the same abilities that September had, I too can go back in time and retrieve Etta and bring her forward to the present so that we can be together again. It's just a thought. Again, feel free to shoot it down if you think that's crazy, but I'm just wondering if that's a possibility. I know that Georgina said very shortly after the bullet that saved the world some things that strongly suggested that she was not coming back, but it's possible that the writers told her, do not say anything that will even remotely suggest that you're coming back because we want them to be surprised when it happens. After all, she was basically eviscerated. So the possibility of her coming back seems slim, but not if time travel is involved. Just for the record, by the way, I don't want to reset back to the day at the park. One reset back at the end of Season 3 was enough for me, and that would mean that basically Season 5 never happened, which would kind of be stupid. I would rather my theory be correct and that Peter goes back in time to retrieve Etta from the past. Wondering what your thoughts are. Thanks a lot for listening. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
All right.
Thanks for that awesome feedback, Chris. I had my shotgun loaded up here, ready to shoot down your theory.
We both loaded them at the same time.
I think that's a great theory.
I do too.
I think Peter, he wants, if he's going to bring Etta back, I think he's at a point now where he doesn't want to bring her back to this present.
Yeah.
He wants to fix things and then have the possibility of bringing her back. The real question is, for me anyways, as I look at what's happening to Peter, as he's becoming more logical like an observer, is he going to have the emotional wherewithal to even care about his daughter any longer?
That's a great question, and really, really the scary thing. I mean, that's when people call in and talk about there not being, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a happy ending. They don't see a way for happiness to come out of this. I mean, that's the main reason why. If Peter goes down a path where he becomes an observer, where is the happy ending in that? And I still trust the writers and think they know what they're doing. And maybe this is something that could happen. Her face is the face on all the Resist posters. When he sees her face, he still smiles, and maybe she's the only one that can somehow bring him back or break him free from the path he's going down.
Yeah, but is he smiling at Etta on the Resist posters, or is he smiling because he put that poster there?
I'm thinking he's smiling because he sees his daughter.
Or is he smiling because the Resistance is gaining a foothold based on things that he's able to do?
I suppose that could be right.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I like the theory, Chris, and I don't know. I doubt it comes true, but it's so out of the box and nothing that I'd thought of or seen anywhere, and so I really liked it, and I'm not going to shoot it down. I like it too. All right, let's move on to Dana.
Hey, Clint and Daryl, this is Dana out in Boston. First, last week you guys were talking about when Peter called Walter Dad in White Tulip, and how everything went bad after that. Also, don't forget in the season 3 finale when he told Walter that Walton, it may have been his real father, but he'll always be his real dad. And then Peter was erased from existence for temporarily anyway. But another situation where everything kind of went bad for us, the audience. So I wanted to basically hit on my major theory for this season, and it ties into your banana bet, because Daryl, I think you believe that September is the dove, and Clint, you believe Broyles is the dove, and I believe Clint will win the bet, and Broyles will be the dove, and that is because Peter will become September. If you look at the evidence, Peter's birthday is in September 18th to be exact. September, throughout the entire series, his main focus has been on Peter, making sure Peter survived when he was a boy, keeping him alive every chance he got, intervening with Peter all along, and they led you to believe he was important because of the machine in season 3. But yeah, in season 4, when September had the opportunity to completely erase Peter from existence, he didn't, and that's why we haven't seen September at all this season, because we've actually have been seeing him in the form of Peter, and he's ultimately going to become September now that he has the Observer tech in him. So Peter won't be the original Observer unless September is the original Observer, but Peter will become September. The only thing I really want to touch on was how beautiful of a scene last night's episode. The last scene was not necessarily beautiful, but just how good of a scene it was. Just the look of horror on Olivia's face when she realized everything Peter had done and was doing, and how he had the tech and how he was using it. Just how well acted that scene was, and how observer-like Peter was becoming. It was just, I was in awe of the scene. Wonderfully acted, wonderfully written. And that was all I really wanted to hit on, guys. Those are the major points anyways. Keep up the good work of the podcast. I'll be listening tonight, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Well, that was the worst feedback we've ever gotten. He sided with you on the dove, and then he said Peter equals September. I agree with his last comment that the last part of the episode was awesome.
I agree, too. I like the theory that Peter equals September. I'm not saying it's right. I just like the outside-of-the-box thinking that it provides. And, of course, I'm right.
No, you're not.
We'll see.
September is clearly the dove.
Then that means Peter is
not
the
Peter.
dove.
No, Peter's not September.
Okay, we'll see.
And
we will see.
I'm seeing more and more people, throw that out there, and that's cool. I don't mind you doing that, but you're wrong. Peter's not September.
I still think Astrid is the mole.
The mole rep boy? No, in all seriousness, Dana.
Season 1 reference.
Yeah, like I said, other folks, I've seen that too, and I don't see it. I mean, I can see where people are drawing that conclusion, and in my mind, it just can't be that way. And I think the main thing that comes to my mind when I'm trying to tear holes into that theory is that September was instructed by December to no, he was instructed to get rid of Walter.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was going to say, why would he instruct him to kill himself? But that was so that Peter would not come bleed all the way through back into the timeline, because Peter was starting to bleed through.
Right.
So still, I don't see why they would have him destroy Walter so that he couldn't bleed through if he was himself. Why would they erase? That doesn't make sense to me. So I say no. I mean, you can have the theory, that's fine, but I say no. Peter does not equal September.
All right.
But thank you, Dana. And I hope I wasn't too mean to you, because it was all meant to be in fun.
It's not fun when you're making fun of people, Gerald. That hurts their feelings.
I'm not trying to make fun of them. If I make fun of anyone, it's just you. All right, let's listen to Daishell.
Hello, Clint and Daryl. My name is Daishell. I'm calling from Vestal, New York, and I'm leaving a message for the Fringe broadcast. My wife and I are big fans of your broadcast, and I wanted to mention a theory concerning the Edda Resist posters that have been showing up after Peter collapsed the wormhole. I believe Peter's perceived failure regarding his efforts to collapse the black hole on the other side of the Paul hole is a catalyst that pushes him to implant the observer technology into himself. And because he didn't want Edda's death to be in vain, the implantation is a turning point in our timeline. I believe that Edda is still alive somewhere in the future and is aware of what her father's done and knows the consequences. And she's not sending a message to the Resistance to resist, but to Peter to resist the changes the technology is making to him, which is why the messages accompany an image of her, so that Peter could know that the message is to him from her, and why they appear at the moment the wormhole collapsed, because that was the catalyst for his change. I believe Ed is the only one who can help Peter regain his humanity after he loses it, because Peter loves her so much, and I hope that that will be the happy ending that we get to the series. Thanks for hearing my theory. I'll keep up the good work, and Daishell out. Take care.
All right.
Daishell out.
We just kind of had a similar conversation to this. I didn't mean to. So he's saying that the Resist posters are from Edda in the future. She's still alive somewhere in the future,
okay.
And they are intended for Peter to resist what he's doing.
Oh, I like that.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I just threw out there that I thought they were more of. I threw out that he was smiling because he recognized his daughter more than anything else. So, but what is the purpose of the posters, and who is putting them out there?
That's right.
I
It's
don't
one
know.
of the great mysteries of the show. I hope that will be revealed.
I do too, because they're showing up in the most obscure place. You know what? Someone else is going to talk about that too. I don't want to step on anyone else's feedback, but Daishell, thank you so much for the theory. I like it. All right, let's move on to Fool Me Once.
Hi, Daryl and Clint. This is Emily, or Fool Me Once, with feedback on 5/20/10. So I recorded feedback for last week, but never sent it in, and I'm now glad that I didn't. The things that I was arguing in favor of last week are, in my opinion, a little bit stronger this week. Each week, we're given scads of information about the 20-odd years we jumped before Season 5 picked up, and I am an extremely big fan of the scarcity in which we get information because of the sole fact that it is good and daring storytelling. I absolutely hate it when characters have to forcibly summarize an entire history of an event or relationship just to make things work or have it make sense to the audience. Every piece of detail revealed about the past is strategically engineered into the flow of the episode and not the other way around. And because it's done this way, I am satisfied with whatever we get. Any blatant summation of the past would hinder the current story for me. And the fact is, this season we don't know anything, clearly, and the characters don't know anything. We don't conclude each episode by successfully connecting another piece of the puzzle. Each one is giving us a random piece that feels like it should make sense, but is utterly meaningless without the larger picture. Episode 1 of this season launches our team into this scary, oppressive future where wrong choices are made at every turn because ignorance and lack of experience trip them up, and the resulting effects, frustration and disunity, are unfortunately the byproduct of a team that has spent so much time bolstering their confidence through the successful defense against Fringe events. Our team's expectations and pains of loss, I might add, are inhibiting their forward progress. But each step along the way is a victory. I mean, both in their acquisition of some portion of the plan and in their ability to survive. The roadblock at each stage has deep roots within Walter's lost memories and the expectation of acquiring the pieces to a plan. Theories aren't really my thing, and this isn't so much a theory as an observation. There have been a lot of complaints about Olivia's lack of involvement or attention to thus far, and I would agree. I do miss her and her character, but I do believe there is a significant purpose behind this. In coming into season 5, Olivia was the one who had it all together. She was always the one driven by looking at the next step in a process, because that's how she survived and dealt with the things she confronted. But in light of all that was going on when she was taken out of Amber, her control was usurped by the world she could not possibly understand. So Peter takes the reins, and the more confused and helpless she got in the whole process, the less productive she became. However, as a result of the end of this episode, I think she'll be awoken to the false pretense of her existence in this new future. I think Peter's vendetta will wake her up and make her take a more fierce control in the whole thing, realizing that Peter isn't really on her side right now. He's on his own team. This isn't to say she'll give up on him, but I think that she'll attempt to regain control of herself apart from him, instead of her whole participation in the matter relying on someone else. Well, before this gets too long, I will just end it here and say how much I've been enjoying the feedback from all the other fans this season. It's been probably the most bittersweet ending to a fandom that I've ever experienced. Thanks so much for all the work you guys do. This is Foamy Once saying, foamy once, shame on you, foamy twice, and we're all probably going to die.
I think we just need to give her the microphone and let her do the podcast.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I'll see you later.
Good, wasn't it? I mean, that's more articulate, better, well thought out than anything that I've ever tried to bring to the podcast.
That's true, Daryl.
I'm serious. It was awesome.
That was really good.
I don't even know how to respond to that. There was so much goodness there. It was dense. There was a lot packed in there. Now she did talk about, what Olivia might do, since she's kind of on her own now, and she really is. I mean, Walter's going. Is going off his dark path. Peter's going off of his dark path. Clearly, Peter has no need for Olivia at this point, unless it serves him in some way.
No, I don't think he does.
So, will Olivia rise up and do something? I mean, because there's been a lot of folks upset. Dana's one of them in the chat room. New Dana, who wants to see old Olivia back, not this Olivia that's kind of got the backstory. Or behind the scenes, or you know what I mean, pushed to the back. That's what I mean.
B story.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what Olivia will do in light of what she discovered in this episode.
I think she's a person that takes action on things. I think she's going to take some action. I don't know what that is yet, but
who's her team going to be? Is it going to be her and Anil, her and Astrid, her and Nina, her
and Walter maybe?
I don't know about Walter at this point.
You don't?
I mean, if she goes off to try to finish the plan that September gave them, then it's got to be with Walter, I suppose.
Well, and I think that she's going to tell Walter, "Hey, this person that you're putting all your trust in, is now an observer.
Yeah,
he's turning into the very thing we're trying to fight. We got to stop this now. We got to figure out a way to get this out of his head.
Yeah,
we have to do it in a way because he's not going to want that, right?
No."
So, anyway.
Excellent feedback from me once. Thank you so much. All right, this next one comes in from Jaime.
Hey, guys, this is Jaime from New Mexico calling for the Fringe Podcast. After watching this whole season, I wanted to say that it's kind of nice in a weird way to see what Walter is. All these seasons we've been kind of falling in love with Walter Bishop, and we haven't really seen what it is that kind of made him evil. I mean, we look at William Bell and, we think of him as a bad guy. But in all honesty, Walter was just as much of a bad guy, and we can kind of say that he gave himself up, and that was noble, pardon the pun. But we haven't really gotten to see what he's like except maybe for Walternate. So that's kind of cool that they're exploring that. I don't know how much they're going to get into that. But one other thing. At the beginning sequence, and forgive me if this has been mentioned already, I haven't caught it, but is that Peter that they show when the words free will pop up? Is that the back of Peter? Anyways, Keep up the good work, guys. I'll be listening. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.
So what do you think about the Walter we're seeing in this season, particularly over the last 2 episodes now, turning into the Walter that we'd always heard about all of these years?
I don't think so. And the reason I say that is just because everything that you and I have heard from John Noble is that he really wanted to sign on to this season to complete the arc of this character.
Right.
Basically to give him a happy ending.
Right.
And he's got to deal with his, kind of skeletons in the closet. I think he's going to lose part of his brain again.
I do too. That's again the big difference we see between Peter and Walter. Walter has the wisdom now of age, as William told him in the LSD episode. Though he can see what's happening, and he doesn't want any part of that now. But so Jaime's point, what we're seeing Walter become is the legend of Walter Bishop that we've heard about all these seasons, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I completely agree, but that being said, I don't think we're going to see him for more than maybe 1 or 2 other episodes.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ultimately become that again. I agree. And as far as the thing, is that Peter during the intro, I went back and looked at it. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever know or not. But, all of us have a hair pattern where your hair kind of swirls somewhere on your head. Whatever. That's probably got a name.
The cowlick?
I don't know. Whatever.
It's cowlick.
And it seemed to be in a different position than Josh Jackson's is, so I'm going to say no. But I don't know.
Okay.
Could be. Yep. The vortex. There you go. All right, one more, and then we'll read some. This one comes in from John.
Hi, Daryl and Clint. John from Phoenix here, and I've been a member of the Fringe community for 3 years, joining your podcast audience midway through about season 2. I felt like a part of a community, even though you have never heard of me or from me before this message. I feel like I know both of you, along with some of the regular contributors like Interdimensional Dave, Totally Addicted, and even the ever justifiably invalidated Zerophytes. But I have listened regularly all this time, and I wanted to jump in at least once before Fringe and the Fringe podcast reach their conclusion. The reason for this feedback call is only in part to praise you guys for all the great work you do on the podcast, but I also want to offer a thought on time travel. It seems to me Fringe flirts with time travel, but doesn't really embrace it. Rather, it plays with ideas like alternative realities or reboots of realities without specifically having our heroes enter a time machine or get caught in things like black holes created by an explosion of red matter. Generally speaking, I like this. It allows the Fringe creators to avoid time paradoxes and the like, and to tell a more compelling story. Now, with regard to time travel, let me suggest something that will change your lives. I'm pretty sure I'm one of your older fans, and as such, I'd like you to take advice from an old-timer. Some time ago, I think it was last season, you both were running through various treatments of time travel from other movies and TV shows. I don't recall how it came up exactly, but you referred to the classic Star Trek TV series in an episode called City on the Edge of Forever. You both mentioned having never seen it, and I nearly screamed at my radio. So here's my message. Watch that episode. Based on a Harlan Ellison story, it still stands as one of the most compelling time travel stories ever. To this day, I get a chill watching it. I won't spoil any of it for you, even though the episode's about 40 years old, but to talk about time travel on a TV show without having seen City on the Edge of Forever, it's like trying to understand Fringe by making your first episode Letters of Transit. Good luck with that. Well, Clint and Daryl, and I reversed the order this time so as not to play favorites, thank you very much for the podcast, for the insights, the humor, the singing, and the sense of community I've appreciated so much. You guys bring it every week. This is John in Phoenix saying, see you in another verse, brother.
How good
was
that?
That was great. Yeah, John, thank you so much. All right, we got our nerd cards revoked a little bit. Our time
you
travel.
did. I watched it last night.
Oh, you did? Jerk. Was it good? Was it worth watching?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's Star Trek and it's time travel.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
What else is there?
What else do you need to know?
Yeah.
I won't give anything away. I'm going to watch it again because it was about 12:30 this morning. I'd had a long day, and I know I nodded off at least for a couple of minutes, maybe just a minute or two, but
yeah.
I want to go back and watch it again. But yeah, it was great. It was really good.
So I've got 2 things to watch over this break. Well, 3
Yeah,
things.
it's on instant streaming on Netflix.
Yeah.
Both of those are. So if you don't have Netflix, go over to thefringepodcast.com/support, click on our link and sign up. But yeah, they're both on instant streaming.
That's right. And
Yeah.
if you're a contest winner, you can sign up with your Global Cash Card, which is also sponsoring this podcast. I figured I'd get all of our plugs in right.
Sorry, I wasn't even listening to you.
Right here in the middle.
All
All right,
John, what you had to say about us and the work that we do here at the Fringe Podcast. Thank you so much. We love what we do here. We love interacting with all the listeners and the fans, and so glad that he's been a listener for 3 years. I wonder, though, if he's been a listener for 3 years, 1 month, and 5 days. I suspect that he probably has been.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm glad you remember. Daryl, you have such loving, tender, caring kindness for all of our listeners. It's great.
All right. Thank you, John. You ready to read some, Clint?
No.
But you're going to anyway. You're not going to make me read all these.
I think I should this time.
No.
No, I'm not going to make you read all of them. All right, I'll start off.
All right.
This one says, hi, Clint and Daryl. I initially gave this...
No, hang on now. She did not say that.
I was waiting for you to pick it up.
I wasn't paying attention at first.
Yeah, she got the order wrong. I just fixed it for her. There, I fixed it. I initially gave this episode 5/2010, not to be confused with 50/10 Shudder, a lower rating, but after rewatching, realized that it gave more answers and clues than we've had in the episodes so far this season. I only want to focus on one portion of the information-rich segment in the episode, which took place in the lab, and during which Walter conveyed 2 important facts during his Betamax taping.
All right.
As he talked about the cylinders, which were designed by the invaders, they are all beacons that allow them to repeat different points in space-time. You will need 2 of them. When the observers hid the universe from September in Season 4, Peter found the cylinder that enabled September to find his way back to the same time period. I'm guessing that the observers may have placed September into a pocket universe with a different time period, and perhaps as the young September we saw in Inner Child. Each beacon seems to be uniquely attached to an observer. Now, I'm not sure that that's true.
I'm not sure about that last sentence, about it being attached to a specific observer. I totally missed that quote. They are the beacons that allow them to repeat different points in space-time.
Yeah, I missed it too.
Okay, that's great. That's great stuff.
Walter said they needed 2 beacons. While the beacons appear to be one-to-one connection for each observer, we don't know if that will be the case for our non-observers. So, that could mean that our team needs 1 beacon for all of them to travel to the future and destroy the observers, and 1 to return to 2036. Or, it could mean that 2 members of the French team need 2 beacons to travel to the future to fight the observers and return. Or, it could mean that they need 1 beacon to all travel to the future and fight the observers, and 1 for all of them to return. I'm guessing that they will be able to hitch a ride on 1 beacon, and then we'll probably return to 2016. But since my backstory has redemption for Belly, and that was ripped to shreds this week, I'll probably be invalidated again. Thanks for all you do on the podcast. Barb from Phoenix, a.k.a. Tangier14.
All right. You know, that's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah.
I still don't know about the beacons being attached to a one-to-one per person type of thing, but she's got some different options there. I hadn't put any thought to why they needed 2 beacons.
Me neither. I totally missed that line.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Thank you, Barb, so much. All right. This one comes in from our good friend Ingrid. And Ingrid, if you're in the live show, Ingrid is the one who did this wonderful Walter Bishop poster from the episode Inner Child, by the way. Walter Bishop poster that we have here on the wall. She painted that back in our Season 1 contest. Ingrid says, this is Ingrid from Quebec signing in. Bonjour et comment va tout le monde. Did I get that right?
No.
Is it close?
No.
What's it supposed to say?
No.
That's what it says.
Okay.
Et comment va tout le monde. Just wanted to send short feedback for the Fringe episode 5 2010. We'll definitely try to voice the feedback next time. Another fantastic episode, and I'm feeling better about Olivia. Her character has been so quiet and laid back this season that I was worried she was being demoted from a great, strong female character to set decoration. But no, I think she is just mourning the loss of Etta and seeming loss of Peter, and she knows very well something is going on with him. Well, Brown Betty was really an important episode, as everyone already knew. Peter's drift to observerhood was foreshadowed quite early in it. Whether or not it was on purpose, I don't know, but I think it's wonderfully pulled off. If I remember correctly, in Brown Betty, Peter is the smooth dude with the fedora and the briefcase. Nina is one of the good guys. Walter was playing with the dark side, more or less, and needed his son to save him. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me this was the basic idea. That seems pretty accurate to me.
That's pretty close.
Well, golly, that seems to be the way it's playing out, no? Walter, brain implant is making him nasty again. Peter will need a fedora very soon, and Nina is one of the good guys. So if this works, Olivia will save Peter, yay Olivia, with her power over batteries or whatever that was. Walter and Peter will basically save each other. They split a heart in two, I think. Yes, that's correct. And Walter will be once again disabled because part of his brain will be removed again, or worse. So I predict they will all live through the series finale unless Walter dies, because it feels a lot like he might sacrifice himself. No, I will stick to my red vines. I will stick to my red vines and say they will all live. I don't know about Etta, though. By the way, one last comment. Daryl mentioned that the pocket universe in Through the Looking Glass vaguely reminded him of that hotel in Doctor Who. It was also the first thought that came to my head when I saw the episode. I was even looking for the number 12 on one of the doors, the door the Doctor went through.
Yeah, that wasn't Daryl.
No,
mentioned that.
That was Clint.
Thank you.
Yes, I was going to give you the credit you were due. I hate that we have to wait 2 long weeks for the next episode, but oh well. I'm sure you guys will get lots of interviews for us to listen to, right? Thanks for the fantastic podcast and all the work you do for us. Going in through the outdoor once again. This is Ingrid signing off.
Good feedback.
I love the way she tied in Brown Betty. You know, we said back at the time that Brown Betty might
as a joke, right?
No, I was serious that I thought that there was more
show.
stuff there, but I didn't think this much.
Yeah.
The way that she just worded it was, well,
good,
quite astonishing, really.
I'm thinking we're going to get another singing episode. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be okay.
Yeah, I'd be for that.
Yeah, I know you would be.
Something happens and I'm head over heels. That's all I know.
All right, you want to read the next one?
Sure.
Okay.
Did you ever see that Saturday Night Live skit where those guys for the wedding? I forget what they play. Oh, it was I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight.
I just died in your arms tonight.
At this wedding, and they're like, whoa, we don't want you to play that.
I haven't seen that one.
And so they said, okay, well, we'll play something else. And they played again. And they stop him, and he said, all right, well, just go ahead and play it. So they go through and do it, and all they know is the chorus from that song. They don't even know the whole song.
That's awesome.
It's funny.
I haven't seen
that. Was me.
All right.
Just now. All right. This one comes in from Michelle Mybell in Tacoma, Washington, a.k.a. Michelle is Trouble. She says, with my feedback for the episode 5 2010, I give this episode 7.3 Robo Peter hair follicles. What we feared and predicted is coming true. Peter is turning, and fast. This episode had a great parallel between Walter fearing his personality changing and us watching Peter changed from human to observer. He is on task and seeking revenge. Walter is on task and trying to save the world, and also losing himself in the process. Like father, like son. They both sacrifice themselves for the pursuit of this goal, It is so wrong that they lose themselves in defeating the observers and taking back humanity. Is it so wrong? Not to mention retribution for Edda. I don't think it's wrong. But that may be what they have to do, I think. To win is to lose themselves and to give everything they have. It is so dark and morbid. We are seeing our beloved team deteriorate before our eyes, and it hurts like hell. It really blows seeing them like this. But in pain and despair and fighting a war that may not be won, Edda is gone, leaving a lingering essence of death and sadness over everything. The only thing getting me through these last upcoming episodes will be the thought that they will win. They have to win, and they will return to the park, and dandelion seeds will fill the air. Fight the future. Thanks, Daryl and Clint. What is the deal? Did you go through and change all these text ones?
Nope, I didn't.
Michelle. Well, that was a happy email.
Well, she does say that she hopes that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, essentially is what she said.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, we say this every week, but the thing is, as each episode ticks off, we've got fewer episodes to give us that happy ending,
that's right?
And we know that Joel is a fan of the show, has said that he wants to give us an ending that we're all satisfied with, and we're looking at the situation at hand and going, how's that going to happen?
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's going to happen.
I hope so.
And it's going to be awesome.
I hope so.
Chin up, Michelle. I think we're okay. But she's right. I mean, how do you bring happiness from this darkness?
I don't know. You don't?
No, but they will. I have faith.
With a reset.
I trust the writers. No. All right, this one comes in from Daniel. Hi, guys. This is my first time writing in. I have a theory about the Edda posters. I have a feeling that it's not the Resistance putting them up, but some other party that we may or may not know, perhaps September.
The Donald.
The observers seem pretty ignorant to each of them. One would think they would take every chance to take them down since it's counter to their endgame. My thinking is that we have the meaning of the posters all wrong, too. Their meaning should be interpreted from Peter's perspective. Resist the temptation to avenge Edda. It could be a warning from somewhere, someone else, hence my thinking of September. Who other than September has cared for the Bishop family, especially Peter, more than him? September has been the tech to September has the tech to understand the whole perspective that Peter objectively lacks. Overall, I give this episode 9 out of 10 falling observer hats. Love the podcast. Daniel. What do you think? September putting up the posters?
No.
No?
No. I think
possible, though.
It could be the Dove.
Okay.
Could be the Donald.
But you just contradicted yourself.
No, I didn't.
You said September's not putting them up, and then you said it was the Dove.
Yeah, Broyles.
What? Broyles wouldn't do that. He's out there with his staple gun. Jiggy, jiggy. Jiggy, jiggy.
I think it's future
Hello,
Peter.
Broyles. What are you doing? Putting up Resist posters. Oh, hey, Windmark. I'm sorry.
Hey, what's that over there?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's Broyles doing it.
Okay.
It's got to be somebody, though, that can put them up without anybody noticing or knows where to put them up so that they're always around in these weird places. Yep. I kind of like the September idea.
It's not September.
All right.
I don't think we're going to get to see September this season.
I do.
Maybe in the finale.
I think we will.
Maybe in the finale.
It's the Mantis. I like that. Mantis Man. All right, let's get back to the audios with Clint's favorite caller, Kira.
Hey, Fringies. It's Kira, a.k.a. Penny. Just calling about last week's episode. Well, I was a little disappointed, and the more I watched it, the more I realized we got more answers than I thought. I guess my only real complaint is the fact that Peter's turning so quickly into an observer. I said this Friday, and I thought that I feel like there's no conflict within Peter himself. I'm disappointed that the love that he felt for Olivia in all the previous seasons is not at all prevalent now. I feel like, if he loved Olivia, there would be a part of him that would feel terrible for lying to her and would try to fight back what the tech is trying to do to him. And I feel like that conflict would be a very strong addition to the storyline. However, there doesn't seem to be any conflict. He doesn't seem to care about Olivia at all. I like what he's seeing, and I like how he's acting out in a certain way, but I do wish that there was some more internal conflict within Peter. He was such a strong person, and I feel like he's not as strong as he was before. His character, I feel like, is so weak now compared to the tech. And I think that's why I rated it so low in Friday night, is that I feel like he's not Peter anymore. And I knew that was going to happen to drive the plot forward, but I feel like there should be some more internal conflict within him. Other than that, I did like the answers that we got through the episode, and I kind of do like where it's going. I'm happy to see Nina again, and so that's it. I'm going to be nice to you, Clint, this weekend, since this week is Thanksgiving. So anyway, in another life, see you soon.
All right, thanks, Penny. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving as well, and thanks for being nice to me. I appreciate it. Your theory, though, is pretty terrible. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think it's interesting. And, we had in the earlier podcast, Daryl saying things aren't happening fast enough. Penny saying that they're happening too fast, that there's no conflict.
Well, we know which one of us is right.
I can totally see... I can see Penny's argument much more so than yours, Daryl.
Okay.
But, that being said, I don't know what conflict there would be in Peter. He wants to assimilate with the tech because the only thing on his mind is vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, he sees that the tech is what he needs. He's made the decision.
He doesn't care. Yeah, that's absolutely right. He doesn't care about the trail of bodies he leaves bloody and dead along the way, no matter how many people he hurts or how many bodies he leaves along the way.
Yeah.
How many dead people or bodies he leaves trailed along the way.
But
or dead or bodies along the way.
But what she said about him, there not being any resistance, it goes right along with what we've heard from other folks about. That's the purpose of the posters. I mean, that's what Daniel was just saying, right? I mean, maybe they are to him to resist because we're not seeing any fight out of him. But in my mind, it's because he made up his mind. This is what I'm going to do. This is the best option for me to defeat the observers, put the tech in my head, and go with it. But he's not the same Peter for obvious reasons.
That's true.
All right. Thank you, Penny, so much. Let's move it over to Mad Hatter 27.
Hey, guys. This is Mad Hatter 27. I've been rewatching episodes in seasons 1 through 4 that have specifically to do with the observers and the backstory we got. And I just finished watching the episode August in season 2, and that's the one where August, the observer, goes rogue and saves a girl. The other observers decide that that is incorrect, and they send an assassin to kill the girl Christine. This assassin's name is Donald. Now, at the end of the episode, Olivia and Peter kill Donald, but given the sort of reset that happened between season 3 and 4, what's to say that Donald isn't still alive, because Peter and Olivia wouldn't have been there to kill him. It turns out at the end of the episode, August, the gun that Donald was using was tied to several unsolved homicides in 10 years. So that says to us that Donald's had a working relationship with the observers, or that he's been hired by the observers for at least 10 years. And that says to me that he would have had a deeper understanding of them and would have known more of them. So maybe he went rogue along with September in season 4 and decided to work with Walter as part of September's plan to stop the invaders. So kind of showing the difference in factions between observers and invaders or occupiers. And I wonder if this really could be the very same Donald character we're dealing with now on the tapes in season 5. So go and rewatch the episode, see if that's a possibility, and maybe that will turn out to be something to think about in the coming episode. So, thanks for a great podcast this last Sunday, and hopefully I'll join you in the chat next week. And remember, when life gives you lemons, travel to another universe and grab some lemonade. Bye.
All right.
Thank you very much for that.
Sorry, I was distracted by the chat room there.
Yeah. It was a little distracting.
Yeah, I took care of it.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Trying to even think. Oh, yeah, she talked about Donald. Sorry, It took me a second to get back around there.
Yeah, now, based on what she said, that makes me think that it could be the Donald that we saw in August.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't thought about there being the timeline reset.
Yeah.
And that guy could still be around.
That's true.
We did mention a couple of episodes ago, probably in the recordist, that there had been another guy named Donald, and that was the guy, but we just kind of dismissed it after that.
Right. They could bring him back.
Yeah.
I think
it's possible.
I think it's possible, and that's a great theory, so thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next one, and this comes in from Michael.
Hey guys, this is Michael from Staffordshire, England. I've just watched the latest episode, 5/2010, and I was really, really impressed, in all honesty. I didn't expect that much from this episode, looking at the director and writer initially on Wikipedia, as I never really heard of any of them or remember any work that they'd done previously. But I thought this episode was really well paced, and in all honesty, this is what I was expecting from most of the episodes of season 5, and I just really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, due to the final scenes, I can only see this season heading one way, and that way is tragedy. People questioned why Windmark killed Etta so abruptly in The Bullet That Saved the World, without interrogating her or capturing her, or using her for any way that he could have to make a hole in the resistance or damage it in any way. Thinking back to the previous episode, I believe that this is all a ploy by Windmark, especially after remembering his smirk when he noticed that Peter had changed. Unfortunately, I believe that Windmark may have ordered the observer that Peter got the tech from purposefully to get captured by O'Neill, knowing that Peter would implant the tech in his head and starting this chain of events, putting it into process. So I believe that Windmark is luring Peter into a trap, giving him a sense of accomplishment and a sense of power over the observers, which unfortunately I believe will lead to Peter's demise unless someone steps in, such as Olivia or Walter. I really like the storyline they're setting up of Walter at the moment, where he's really struggling with himself and wanting not to change into the man that he used to be. I thought the moment with Nina and Olivia was really touching. I thought they did that scene really, really well. I thought the actress that portrays Nina brought her A game to this episode, and it was really good to see her back, especially the moments between her and Walter as well. That's really all I wanted to say about this episode. Unfortunately, I believe we're on a break now, which is really disappointing, because I thought this was a really, really good episode. So we'll just have to wait until December and see what the rest of the season brings. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. Catch you later.
All right, Clint, just because we're going on a break does not mean that you and I are on a break.
We were on a break, Daryl.
No, we weren't. All right, good stuff, Michael. Thanks for... I love the accent, too. That's a great accent.
I wish I had a cool accent.
I know. I just have a dumb hick sounding accent.
That's
probably.
not true.
Okay, so he says that Peter is falling right into Windmark's plan, that Windmark intended for the observer that got captured to get captured so that Peter could take the tech from him and put it in his neck. It's all part of Windmark's plan.
It sure looks that way from the promo for the next episode, doesn't it? But sometimes they get creative with those promos.
Know. I would say it seems that way more based on Windmark's smirk that we saw in the last episode.
That was pretty subtle, though.
Yeah.
I would say that the other thing is a little less subtle.
Yeah. We're not going to spoil that.
But you do remember, I don't know if you remember Lost and hearing about those promos.
Oh, yeah. They were terrible with their promos.
Well, and they would, it's a separate department that does the promos.
That's right. Right.
And so who knows what they put in there and how much it relates to the show, in 2 weeks, one of the people on the island will die. And then they'd flash up, Jack and Kate and all the main characters.
And it was always some red shirt guy.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
Some red shirt guy gets mauled by the smoke monster.
Yeah.
Grunberg.
Grunberg? You mean Grunberg?
What I said.
I thought you said Grunberg.
No, Grunberg.
I see.
I've got a cold. I don't know if you can tell or not.
No, not really. I mean, there's been a couple of times, but
I'm having trouble breathing,
Yeah.
and so reading is a challenge for me.
Yeah.
Today.
All right. Well,
More
that's
than
good
most
stuff,
days.
Michael. Thank you for calling it in. I think Windmark is very aware of this situation. That's for sure. We'll find out, to the fullness of that, I'm sure.
Yep.
All right. Let's get on to Michaela.
Hi, this is Marv Michaela. I'm calling from Philly, and I'm just calling to say how much I loved the last episode, but I'm worried because I don't see a happy ending coming out of this. If you do the apples, bananas, rhinoceros thing to your own wife, where you're repeating what she says before she even says it, according to the Geneva Convention, that's grounds for divorce. And so I don't have hope for them. But I'm going to still watch because I love Fringe, and I'm excited by what's happening, even if it's not my happy ending. And I have an idea, though, for John Noble. Post-Fringe, I think it's a very valid idea. Even though he's not actually British, I think he should be the 12th Doctor Who, because he has everything, and he would be perfect. So I'm going to throw his hat in the ring for that for some future date. That's it. So I have no sign-off, but bye.
All right.
That was pretty cool.
I love that. If you do the apples, bananas, rhinoceros thing to your wife, and I just could not stop laughing.
It's really
great.
funny. It does remind me of a Doctor Who episode.
Uh-huh.
A David Tennant episode where they were on a diamond planet, and there was an animal or a creature on that planet that got on their little spaceship, and it would repeat words right after they said it, and then it got smarter and was learning, and then it could say things at the same time, and then it would say things before you said them.
Huh. I don't think I've seen this episode yet.
Took your words away. Well, you got to catch up, man.
I'm almost to the end of David Tennant. I have 5 to 8 episodes left of him.
The second or third to the last episode. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for spoiling that for me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, not looking good for their relationship, though.
No, it's not.
Thank you so much, Michaela. I just thought that was so hilarious. Good stuff. All right. Let's move on to Sheldon. No, not that Sheldon.
Hey guys, this is Sheldon from Brooklyn, and for all those who had doubts on where Fringe was going at the beginning of this season, where it was heading, I just have one thing to say. O ye of little faith. This was one of the best episodes of Fringe I have seen, in my opinion, and for that, I give this episode 10 points in time precisely pointed out by Peter. This episode had everything I look forward in Fringe. It had action, it was poignant at times, it was nerve-wracking, it was creepy, and it had Astrid. Astrid wasn't just in the background, she was up front, had lines, she was an integral part of the story. Whenever that happens, Fringe is so much better for it. I don't know what I'm going to do to wait 3 weeks. I cannot. Why wait? I want the next episode now. Anyway, keep up the good work, and until frequently falling follicles foresee a fantastic finale for our Fringe friends, farewell.
Nice.
That's such a nice sign off.
That's a good sign off. So he's happy with the way things are going.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'm not unhappy.
I'm not either. I'm still loving this season. I think it's the best season yet, and I still have all the confidence in the world that our writers know what they're doing. So I'm happy. I'm happy with it.
You're happening it.
I'm happening with it.
So Daryl, did you purposely bookend us with Penny at the beginning and Sheldon at the end? Is that what happened?
No, I didn't do that on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah. But we actually have two more. I don't know if you saw. We have Smurf and Bad Wolf there.
Oh.
And they actually are talking very much, they kind of complement each other so well. I'm actually going to play Smurf and Bad Wolf back to back, and then we'll comment on what they have to say.
This is Smurf from the suburbs of Atlanta, and I've been listening to you guys for a couple of years now. This whole episode, I think, opened up a lot of new possibilities that I thought were really out there, but I think now are probably correct. I'm thinking Peter has either got to be Captain Windmark or September. I'm saying 70-30. 70% he's Windmark, 30% he's September. Because we all saw the little smile at the end that Windmark had, and they're not supposed to show emotion. So if that is Peter, you can see where it could possibly be some emotion, and he had to come back in order to save everything. It's going to be interesting to see how they wrap this up with only, 6 or 7 more episodes to go. But thanks for the podcast and the ride so far. Talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Hey, Clint and Daryl. This is Bad Wolf again. Just an update on the Peter is Windmark theory. Yeah, the end of this episode seems to have had a little bit of a foreshadowing, perhaps. Just having a clump of hair in his hand and showing a picture of Windmark. Anyway, I definitely don't want Peter to be evil, but it's looking increasingly like that's inevitable at this point. Great job on the podcast. I know I didn't say that last time. If this gets included, thanks. Bye.
All right, so 2 folks think that Peter is Windmark.
And it did get included because you said the podcast was awesome. That's why.
He had another one that did not get included. I just included that back half of it there.
Okay. Cool.
What do you think? Any chance of that?
At this point, anything could happen, Daryl.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, Smurf said that Peter could end up being September. So another theory there.
Yeah.
I'm liking these theories. Keep them coming.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. I mean, he's out to kill Windmark, so he's out to kill himself right now. Not to say they couldn't resolve that somehow, but I'm just not sure how that's going to happen. And apparently that they're saying that episode of Doctor Who is called Midnight, and it's definitely one I've seen. I'm just not recalling.
I don't think it was called Midnight.
Oh, is that a different one?
Yeah.
If it's Midnight, I've seen it. But anywho's. All right, guys, thank you so much. Those are all the feedbacks we have for this episode. So many good ones, and so many good ones that we couldn't squeeze in. But thank you to everybody who sent in feedback. For all the first-time feedbackers, welcome, and we're glad to have you. If you're like John out there, you've been listening all these years, and you haven't sent in feedback, and you've never quite got the nerve up, you still have a few more episodes. So get the nerve up, send us in your feedback, and we'd love to hear from you. So send that in. All right, Clint, you ready for some twinge action?
Yep.
Alrighty.
It actually was midnight.
Was it midnight?
Yes.
All right, I'll have to look over the synopsis of that and see why I'm not remembering that.
All right, Daryl. While I'm pulling this up, did you read the twinge question this week?
Yeah, I think I did. I didn't pay much attention to twinge this week, to be honest with you. I was pretty busy with other things.
Other things?
Yes.
It was those hair transplants, wasn't it?
It was. It was also launching a client's website over at dramatictraffic.com.
.com.
Yes. Did you pay attention to the Twitter question this week?
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
You got it actually out pretty early this week. I got a buzz on my phone that had been tweeted, and I look, and it's a response to the twinge question, and it wasn't even noon yet.
I know. It's one of those things, Daryl, that I think about starting about Thursday.
Uh-huh.
I think about it every hour until about 10 o'clock in the morning.
And then it's just gone.
And then usually I forget about it. So this time I thought, you know what? I'm sitting here. I've got 20 seconds. I'm gonna send it out.
Okay. So what was the question?
So this week's question was, what will be the downfall of our new Baldy, if any?
Okay.
Let's see. K.R. McQuackins K.R. Mackins, let's try that again, says Peter will destroy the observers but lose his relationships.
Okay.
Hannah Bataki says, I hope love will pull him back. Martini Station says, well, he's not going to be able to enjoy any delicious strawberry-flavored death unless it's topped with some jalapeno.
Mm-hmm.
Verbank says he's going to spend all his money on Rogaine.
Nice.
Tony Caselli says it's all about the love, man. It's all about the love. Trivial Matter says, bishops look to be in a lot of trouble of their own making. Live the only hope? The happy ending some are hoping for may be a bit muddled. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Jovial Falcon says, now that Peter can move and fight like the observers, Belly joins David Robert Jones dying in both timelines. I'm not sure what that means.
Well, David Robert Jones died in both timelines.
Yeah. You think he's going to kill Bell?
Maybe.
Go back and kill him?
We don't know what the status of Bell is at this point.
Expendable Gerbil says he will meet his fate in a strange room with a bearded man, dressed in white, who says things like ergo and vis-a-vis a lot.
Plato?
Socrates.
Oh, Socrates.
I like it.
I like it.
He will kill Windmark and let Nina save him. Note the MRI in the promo. Olivia will forgive, like in the first episodes. It's all grief.
Okay.
Lost Frenchie says, Olivia, she will find a way to stop him. Frostifer says, I think he will somehow lead to the death of Walter.
Okay.
I hope not.
Well, he mentioned that last week in his feedback.
Rylan J. Penning says, the luscious head of hair will be gone. Oh, and Windmark will be able to control him.
Ooh.
That would be bad.
That's what Olivia did last season.
Yes.
When he ultimately killed David Robert Jones.
Yes. Cinewolf provides 2. He says, Olivia and Walter will pull him from the brink of the abyss. Let love rule. And from Mrs. Cinewolf, every man's fear, she will leave me if I go bald.
I love it.
Funny.
Yeah.
Captain Trips 42 says he will accidentally have an affair with every possible future Olivia, failing to look into their eyes.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do you think we're going to see a reference to that?
I hope not.
Yeah, I do too. I hope not.
Jack Pierrepoint says he will no longer be Peter and he will lose Olivia.
Losing my Olivia.
Zero Fights, actually.
Do you have a valid response?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Way to go, Zero Fights. He says having to borrow Nina's wig is definitely his biggest downfall.
I love that. That is good, Zero. Way to
go. Bottled CO2 of Pie says the final season, he only has 6 more episodes left to be awesome. Pizza Wit Joe says Olivia will pull him back. She will save him. Toa of Pie. I don't know. I guess he's got 2 now.
I don't know. Who knows with that guy?
Having to borrow Nina's wig is definitely his. Oh, that was a retweet. I'm sorry.
Oh, I do that too on the Revolution. I feel like an idiot.
Yes.
You should too.
You Janice LG says Walter will make the ultimate sacrifice for both New Baldy and Olive. Bye bye, Walter.
Uh-huh.
I hope not. Lisa 2 says he's already fallen. Belle plus Walter will save him from a life of head tilting and speaking like Brandon, the observer.
We kind of had a new Brandon this week, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
He wasn't nearly as good as the original Brandon.
No One's Minion says it will be his obsessive focus. He's missing the big picture. He won't notice when one of our team decides they must deal with him.
Oh, I like that.
I like that one too. Lemon Eyes says now Peter thinks like an observer. Windmark can predict his action. Peter's been neutralized, not empowered.
Oh, that's great.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
Jessica Rashad says Olivia's going to have to put a bullet in his brain.
Uh-huh.
Alternacat says he will lose his emotions, including the ability to love, which will result in him losing his family and purpose in life. Weep. And finally, Miss Kira Ann, also known as Penny, in the chat room, says he will lose his humanishness. And he could lose his team if they don't save him in time.
Good stuff.
That is it for this week's Twinge Poll of the Week. And if you'd like to participate in that, you can follow us at GSM Podcasts. Daryl, how else can they get us feedback?
They can call us on the Golden Spiral Media voice feedback line at 304-837-2278. You can typey out an email or attach an audio file to an email and send that off to feedback@thefringepodcast.com. Or go over to our website, thefringepodcast.com, click on the Send Voicemail tab hanging out there on the right-hand side of your page, and that'll open up the SpeakPipe app, and you can record audio from your computer. Be sure and listen to that back to make sure it's, we can understand it before you send that off to us. You can also connect with us on Facebook over at facebook.com/Golden Spiral Media, and check out our YouTube page too, which is youtube.com/The Fringe Podcast. By the way, while you were going through those Twinge responses, I pulled up that episode of Doctor Who. I have not seen that episode. Somehow I skipped it.
That was one of the specials that you had to go find, the David Tennant.
I thought I had done all of those.
Mid-season specials.
I'm going to have to make sure I've not skipped any others.
And you might check Amazon, because Amazon had some that Netflix did not.
Okay.
That might have been one of them.
That might have been why.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for bringing that to my attention, guys. I will now make sure that I have seen Midnight. That was an episode of Fringe also. Midnight. That was when Peter was looking for someone with syphilis.
Vampire.
Mm-hmm.
They used the FLIR camera.
They did.
Yeah.
Yep. The heat signature camera.
Yep.
All right. I gave our contact information, and I guess that's it.
That's it.
I feel like we're forgetting something.
We've done all the... we normally do a contest update, but we don't have it. Support?
Over thefringepodcast.com/support. Again, the finale party info, look for us to have some info on that as soon as we get the contract signed this week. So follow us on Twitter. We gave that information out, or look for it over on the website as well. As soon as that becomes available, it will be a ticketed event. That means that attendance will require a ticket. If there's a price on the ticket, it will be minimal. But the venue has a capacity that we're already halfway, probably 3/4 of the way full of the capacity. So we want to make sure we don't oversell the venue. So that's really the main purpose for a ticket. But all that'll be lined out in the blog post when we get it all hashed out with the venue.
In the next week or two.
Yeah.
So look for that on the website.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
I think that's it, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Yep.
We will see you in 3 weeks at the latest.
Yep. If we have any interviews that crop up, we'll announce those via Facebook and Twitter as well.
And SoundCloud and Friendster.
No. Not those.
And SoundCloud Pipe Face.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
So until next time, stay Fringe-tastic.
And keep it nerdy.
The Fringe Podcast and Golden Spiral Media are not associated with Bad Robot Productions, Warner Brothers, or Fox. Golden Spiral Media's use of any and all copyrighted material is only for parody, news analysis, critique, or educational purposes as provided within United States Code Title 17, aka Fair Use. For advertising opportunities, our live show, and other Golden Spiral Media podcast productions, visit goldenspiralmedia.com. Copyright 2012, Golden Spiral Media.